Secretlab recently flew me out to Singapore for a surprise chair launch. Now, I knew there was a new ergonomic chair coming, but I didn't know the final name, the design, or who it was meant for. This wasn't just a showroom visit to try out the chair either. I saw it launch, heard how it was designed, and how it was meant to be used. And then Secretlab sent the Atlas Dune Plus to my home studio here in Calgary in order for me to test it out where I actually work on a day-to-day basis. So for full transparency, Secretlab did cover the trip to Singapore as well as provided this Atlas chair for the video. But if you've been following my channel for a while, then you know that I integrate Secretlab products into a lot of my builds, a lot of my setups, a lot of my home office spaces. And so for me, I feel like I'm not starting from zero. I'll be sharing my honest experience using this thing and trying to see how well it fits into my workflow and my current productivity workspace. Atlas is Secretlab's new task-focused ergonomic chair, built less around lounging and more around active desk work. The Titan Evo was my first true ergonomic chair upgrade, and I've used different colors and styles of it ever since, including the Slick NanoGen edition. So the bigger question isn't just, is this a good chair? It's whether Atlas makes sense as the next upgrade for a productivity-focused creator setup and the way that I work on a day-to-day basis. This was also my first time in Asia, and Singapore immediately fit the vibe of the product. It's very clean, it was modern, and everything felt intentional. At Secretlab, I got a behind-the-scenes look at how they actually build, test, and refine their products, with engineers walking through how the chair is meant to be used and how it was put together. That mattered a lot to me because it let me see the thinking behind Atlas before testing it in my own space.
My favorite thing about this chair is the tilt mechanism. But first, before we get to that, we gotta talk about how to set up your chair. I'm gonna have a guinea pig later and you guys are gonna figure out how to do it. But the first thing you wanna do is adjust the seat height. You want your feet to be firmly planted on the ground. This is the most important part of the chair. Weight distribution on the feet and on the body. After that, new feature of the Atlas, seat depth. Two to three fingers behind your knees and the seat. So you can move it back and forth. When you adjust it, you want your back to be against the lumbar support. Oh, that's perfect. Now, the tilt is the best part. So aside from me temporarily almost losing my balance and making a fool of myself right there, this is the only chair that I can do this in without having that moment of, oh my God, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
So the tilt is very important. So, you know, if you look up the materials online and you talk about the other stuff, they talk about two modes, right? So if you have the tilt locked, that's your upright focus posture.
Yeah.
For me, I'm always tilting. It's very hard for me to sit still.
Yeah.
The only time I can sit still is when I'm gaming, or that's it. So constantly being able to kind of rock and move is really important for me. And it's also, right, this is behavioral now.
Yeah.
It's not just sitting still, I'm moving. All of this counts, right? When we say move when you're sitting, it doesn't mean get up and go run 6 miles. Just little micro movements are all you need. Little weight shifts is all you need.
Her takeaway was simple. A premium ergonomic chair only really makes sense once it's set up properly. And honestly, I completely agree. So I brought those setup notes home to test Atlas the right way at my own desk. After that trip, the exact unit that I would be reviewing arrived at my home studio in Calgary. Out of the box, it felt dense and well finished, but the real story starts after it's built and placed at the desk I actually work from every day. Assembly is pretty straightforward. The manual says around 20 minutes is what it should take, and while lining up the backrest is easier with a second person, I was able to handle it all on my own. Now, once it's all built, the important part is the setup, and it begins right away. Height, seat depth, 3D armrests, tilt lock, 4-level tilt force, and the magnetic memory foam head pillow. All right, it's all said and done, and I've got this thing fully put together. I think it came out looking amazing. It looks slick and a perfect fit for my workspace right here. So I've got dual monitors here. So for me, the right chair is always of utmost importance. Now, this is the Secretlab Atlas, specifically in Dune Plus with nanofoam composite. And I'm going to be testing it and reviewing it around the use case that it was built for, which is focused desk work. At launch, Atlas is expected to start at $499 US with the premium range, including this Dune Plus version that I've got at $699 US. Make sure to check the link down in the description below for current pricing in your region. Now, a quick note on that jump, since some people might be asking or wondering. The premium range isn't a different chair mechanically. It has the same frame, the same tilt, same ergonomics. So what you're paying for is the nano foam composite foam, which pairs a medium firm cold cure base with a soft microfoam top. So in essence, it feels plush the moment you sit down, but stays firm and supportive through a long session. For me, the real question isn't whether it's comfortable for the first 5 minutes. I mean, most new chairs usually are. It's whether it supports my actual workday. I'm talking about small posture changes, focused sessions, and short resets without having to leave my desk. Now, instead of just sitting in the chair and just calling it comfortable and just going with the flow, I decided to set it up the way I was shown in Singapore. The height was the first thing I adjusted. So I wanted to get my feet planted, my knees around my hip level or slightly lower. And then I want to get my body level with the desk instead of reaching up into it. The next thing I did was adjust the seat depth, which actually mattered to me more than I expected. So about a 2-inch or 5-centimeter gap behind the knees with my hips and my back still on the backrest. Then the armrests. I had to bring that up close to the desk height so my forearms rest naturally and my shoulders are able to relax. So I just realized that the Atlas here does not come with built-in lumbar controls. So a lot of ergonomic chairs out there that you will find will usually come with lumbar controls for the backrest. So for you to find that perfect curvature. But if you're not looking to do all that and you just want something that's just, dialed to the optimal level right out of the box, the Atlas is that. It comes with integrated lumbar and is probably the most important part of the chair. There are no lumbar controls on it, which may surprise a lot of people, especially since I'm considering this as a premium chair. But the idea is that most of us don't constantly fine-tune lumbar anyway, so the backrest is shaped around the natural curve of your spine in order to give a fine-tuned support profile right out of the box. Secretlab says the spring and foam structure microflexes as you move throughout the day. There's also a lumbar pillow pro that they have as an add-on if you prefer a more noticeable lumbar feel. The rest of the ergonomic story is shape and movement. There's a high back silhouette, the lower set seat base, and a synchronous tilt that reclines up to 120 degrees, where every 2 degrees of backrest recline tilts the seat base by 1. Atlas is also certified by United States Ergonomics if you care about that stuff. Once locked upright, it's essentially dialed in for scripting, emails, and anything that constitutes or counts as focused work. Unlock that tilt, and I can rock back, add movement, and reset without having to get up and leave the desk. The 4-level tilt force sets how easily the chair moves with you, and a small window shows exactly what level you're on. After a few days, I stopped tweaking around and landed on my actual settings. So, the exact same seat depth, armrests now just below the desk height, the head pillow supporting my neck without pushing it forward, and level 3 on the tilt force. For reference, I'm 5'9" in the regular size, so keep your own height and build in mind since Atlas is a form-fitted chair. That was a real unlock for me. Atlas isn't just a chair that you sit in. It's one you dial into your desk, your height, and the way that you work. Visually, Dune Plus is one of the strongest things about this chair. The neutral color, the SoftWeave Plus Fabric, and color-matched hardware make it feel premium and very interior design friendly. It definitely does not scream gaming chair and looks like it belongs in a creative desk setup or a serious home office. Something worth noting about a color like the Dune Plus is that it will require more attention from you, especially if you're somebody who's hard on your gear, you use it heavily all the time, you have pets around your studio or your workspace, you wear denim, black, dark denim pants and whatnot, then you want to make sure that you're clean and taking care of it a lot more than the average person. Or just go for a darker color. So I've had the chair for about 3 or 4 days now, and in that time, to be honest with you guys, I've had a lot of opinions built around it. So the biggest thing for me is that I didn't expect seat depth on a chair to matter as much as it did. So usually most chairs that I use or I've used in the past don't come with the ability for you to fine tune the seat depth, or they make it more complicated, or something that you never really pay attention to. But with the Atlas, it's something that's been put in the forefront. Like, it's something that you're supposed to fine tune when you first get your chair, when you first set it up for your specific workflow. The key takeaway here is that Atlas keeps you supported and ready to work throughout the day, but still allows for enough room to move around and reset your body as needed, because it's required. Most people don't care about that. You're locked in one spot at your desk for 7 hours, 8 hours sometimes, and not even moving, not resetting your body. Super important. And one thing that Atlas does is it allows you to do that seamlessly. It's smooth, and the one latch button or control to unlock and lock the tilt mechanism is just amazing. It makes it seamless to where you're not thinking about it. You just hit that and you're into rocking mode. So once you start rocking, you feel like you're resetting your back, you're getting your ankles all loosened, and everything is feeling much better. Then you can go right back into working 5 minutes later or whatever. All of these using the latch on the left side of the chair to go between locked and unlocked.
Atlas makes the most sense for anyone building a serious task-focused desk setup. Now, I mean creators, editors, remote workers, founders, and pretty much anyone spending long hours at a desk who wants something more understated than a gaming first chair, especially if your chair is part of your actual workstation, not just something you sit in casually. There's one caveat though. Atlas rewards proper setup. If you never touch the seat depth, tilt force, armrest, or height, you'll miss the point. And the premium price only really makes sense if you genuinely spend long hours at your desk. The card in my box listed a 2-year warranty, so check the details for your region, but the build and finish make this feel designed to be used long term and not just looked at. On the other side, you'd want to skip it if you mainly want a big lounging or gaming first chair with deeper recline and a wider, more relaxed feel. Atlas is more form-fitted and task-focused, so if your priority is maximum room to lounge, this probably isn't the right chair for that. And if you go Dune Plus, just know you're picking the cleanest looking version, not the lowest maintenance one though.
So, did Secretlab's new chair live up to the trip? For my studio, absolutely. It's a chair that's not built for everybody. It's not built for every use case. It's not built to be an all-rounder. It's built as a task-focused chair that enables productivity-focused folks or people that are working at a desk for long hours to be able to focus, move, reset, and repeat. So that routine right there is what it was built around. I mean, there were times during those last few days where I kind of lost count how many times I went between active sit-in and rest mode, which has been, honestly, to say the least, it's been amazing. It's been great.
If you want to take a closer look at Atlas, the configurations, sizes, and current pricing are all linked in the description below. And if you're deciding between Atlas and the OG Titan Evo, that's the dedicated comparison video that I'm working on next. Subscribe so it hits your feed once that's live. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in my next one. It's Tomi. I'm out, y'all.